After a night of passion, due to a mix-up in the yin and yang, the cold-blooded CEO gave me two options. First, we get married. You will become the son-in-law of the Hu family, but only in name. I cannot give you love. Second, I will give you a sum of money. Consider this matter done as if it never happened. From now on, we are strangers. She looked at me and smiled faintly. I chose two. I chose money. No need to think twice. You don't need to think twice. Why wouldn't I? The son-in-law of the Hu family. What's so great about that? I'd still have to help her handle company affairs, help her out in public. How is that any different from being kept in a cage? I'm not stupid. I'd rather take the money, find a woman who actually loves me, and live the life I want, which is 1,000,000 times better. Who gives a crap about being the Hu family's son-in-law? Why isn't this man following script? Every young master in the upper circles would kill to marry me. In this guy's mouth, becoming my husband sounds like going to prison. So how much money do you want? That depends on how much CEO Hu values herself. What he means is if I pay a small amount, it means I have no personal value. So I can't pay a small amount, right? Using Sun Tzu's Art of War. Pretty slick, too bad. And have been grinding in the business world for years. I'm not falling for this trap. I heard the hotel manager paid 5,000 RMB in compensation for a scheduling mistake. Fine, I'll give you 5,000 too. This booking the wrong room was an accident. What about you? You saw someone in the room and didn't leave immediately. I have reason to suspect you did it on purpose. The accident got a 1,000 compensation, but you did it on purpose and you're offering this much. Does that make any sense? You are way too cheap. Eli, the money is compensation for you. How did it end up making me look cheap? Do you even have to ask? You're compensating me with the exact same rate as the hotel. It shows you think your own conscience and bottom line are only worth that much. Figure out for yourself how much you're worth. Nian was speechless and couldn't fire back a single word. Seeing I wasn't satisfied with the compensation, she had to ask, then how much do you want? Without hesitation, I replied, 15,000. Nian stared at me for a long time without saying a word. I could easily afford this amount, but in my heart, I felt a bit wronged. In this man's eyes, it seemed there was only money. How could my person not be worth a single cent in his eyes? At most, 8,000. 8,000? Who eldest miss? Are you giving alms to a beggar? I already said how much I want. 16,000. Not a penny less. That's way too much. Too much. 15,000 is just pocket change to you. Last night's incident was an accident. I'm a victim too. You're a victim. Did I drag you into the room or force you? You were the one who walked into my room by mistake, walked up to me on your own, and took the initiative. Huanian cut me off. All right, don't say another word. 20,000. I shook my head. 14,000. Didn't you just say 15 million? You said you wouldn't budge. So why is it 14 million now? Well, you just said 8,000 yourself. So why did it go up to 12,000 now? Aren't we all just haggling here? If you're not happy with me lowering the price, you can just raise it back up. Huanian took a deep breath. 12,050,000. Ms. Who do you think adding 50,000 makes you look super sincere? 13,050,000. 13,000, it's a deal. Never expected an old hunter like me get his eyes pecked out by a goose today. She actually got played by a fresh graduate. She took out her phone and quickly transferred the money, deliberately writing compensation in the note. Done, she immediately stood up and left, probably not wanting to stay here another second. Tianren and I left Yujing Pavilion. On the way, he asked, how did your chat with Huanian go? I recounted Huanian's two offers and added at the very end, I chose option number 2. Tianren was shocked into silence. No way, Huanian is the ultimate boss, the absolute boss lady. The Hu Group isn't just famous nationwide. They have a massive foothold overseas too. And you actually turned down the status of the Hu family's son-in-law. Plus Huanian is drop-dead gorgeous. How on earth could you hold back, bro? What's so great about being the Hu family's son-in-law? All fame, no gain. Money is a different story. Once money goes into your pocket, unless you take it out, it's going to stay right there forever. You always think things through so thoroughly. So since you got recruited by the Hu Group, are you still going to work there? Of course I am. Why wouldn't I? It's a job I earned with my own real skills. I should at least finish my probation period. That way on my resume later, I can even add a line saying, worked at the Hu Group. Pretty badass. Aren't you afraid of running into the eldest Miss Hu? Afraid of what? We already hashed it out. If we cross paths, we'll just pretend we don't know each other. She's a high and mighty eldest miss. I'm just a low-level cubicle assistant. What are the odds we'll even run into each other? Ihan, you've got a huge vision. I could never do that. That's what my grandma taught me. We chatted for a bit longer, and then split up. I walked back to my apartment. Once inside, I took a shower first, and looked down at the red marks on my body. Both my hands instantly burned with anger. Wenyan and Li Xinyo better remember this. Booze ruins everything. If I ever drink again, I'm a dog. After showering and stepping out, I collapsed onto the bed. Tomorrow, I have to report to the Hugh group. If I actually run into Hu Nian, what is wrong with me? Nian, you better just pretend you don't know me. If you dare look at me one extra time in the office, I'll show you what true second-hand embarrassment feels like. Slept all the way until late evening. Got up, rummaged through the cabinet, and found a cup of instant noodles. I boiled some water to brew it. 3 minutes later, I grabbed the noodles and sat at my desk. Probation period 3 months. Attendance rules being late docs, half a day's pay. Finished the noodles and read the employee handbook for half an hour. A little past 9 p.m. I fell asleep again, because I had slept way too much the day before. I woke up extremely early the next morning. Good grief, Hunyanian. Are you a vampire or what? I turned around, opened the closet, and headed to the company building. I took a deep breath. Lishanai. Starting today, you are officially an employee of the Hugh Group. You have nothing more to do with that woman named Wu. I quickened my pace and walked into the main gates of the building. Stood in front of the directory board, searching for the Human Resources Department. Pressed the elevator button up and found the HR office. Before long, I finished the paperwork and signed the contract. Right after that, I received a notification that I had to go up to the 36th floor to assist the president's office. Huh? The 36th floor is President Hu's work area, right? That's right. This recruitment drive was originally meant to hire a secretary for President Hu. What the hell? I just blindly walked right into a job as Huanianian's secretary. Oh hell no. Can you send me to be a secretary for some other leader instead? I don't have any experience. I'm afraid I won't do a good job. Do you have any idea how many people are breaking their necks trying to get into the president's office? Look at you being all picky and choosy. Oh no, I'm not being picky. I'm genuinely scared. What is there to be scared of? You're just being a secretary. You're not going to the battlefield. Besides, a newbie like you will only be running errands. Might not even cross paths with the president at all. Wait until you're qualified enough to work directly with the president. That's a matter for after you become a full-time employee. Good, not crossing paths is for the best. Even though we took the money and agreed to pretend we don't know each other, if we accidentally bumped into each other, it'd still be pretty awkward. Yes. All right, I'll head right over there. That guy gave me a look and dropped one last sentence. Up there, look directly for team leader Tung. Got it, thanks. Arriving on the 36th floor, I found the office area for the president's office. Hello, I'm the new employee Lishan. HR signed me to report to the president's office. I am Tongtianqi, team leader of the president's office. Your desk is over there. I walked over and had just sat down when Tongtianqi brought over a stack of documents. This is the workflow for the president's office and things to watch out for. Take a look first. Also, this pile of documents needs to be sorted. Arrange them in chronological order. He paused for a moment and added, as a newbie, don't spend all day trying to cut corners. Just do your work honestly and carefully. If you don't understand something, ask your colleagues. Looked at Tong Tianqi and vaguely realized he wasn't someone easy to mess with. I looked down at the thick stack of documents in front of me, took a deep breath and said, got it. Tong Tianqi took 2 steps, then turned his head back to look at me. Oh right, the president's office is at the end of the hallway. Normally, if you don't have business, don't go anywhere near it. If there's anything, I'll call you. Understood. I'd hoped to never go there anyway. After Tong Tianqi walked away, I let out a long sigh of relief, uttering under my breath, well, what a relief. Enemies always cross paths on a narrow bridge. When Yannian leaned back in her chair, truly unable to wrap her head around it. A guy who looks that handsome. Why on earth does he have a mouth that always leaves people speechless? It's 10:30 already. Did he actually come to work today? Logically speaking, he should be running as far away as possible. But given his unusual way of thinking, it's hard to say. Thinking of this, she pressed the internal intercom. Lin Xiao, get in here for a second. In less than a minute, knock on the door rang out. Lin Xiao pushed the door open. President, did you have something for me? Didn't the company just hire a new assistant? Go check and see if that person has arrived yet. Strange. Since when does the president care about such sesame-sized matters, like hiring an assistant? Yes, all right, I'll go check right now. Hold on, Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao turned his head back with a look of, I knew it wasn't that simple. Yannian paused for a beat and added, just go confirm if he's here. Don't let the new assistant know, and don't let anyone else know that I sent you. The flame of gossip inside Lin Xiao burned fiercely. Understood. He turned around and walked out of the office. Tong Tianqi was reviewing documents when he saw Lin Xiao walk in and immediately hurried to greet him. Assistant Lin, why are you here? Do you have any instructions? Nothing major. I just wanted to ask, has the newly hired assistant arrived for work yet if they haven't come? HR still needs to make other arrangements, whether the new assistant is here or not. What does it have to do with him? He's here. He just finished onboarding procedures this morning and reported to the president's office. Lin Xiao nodded. All right then, there's nothing else. With that, he decisively turned and left Tong. Tianqi stood in place, watching his receding figure and secretly letting out a sigh of relief. I thought the new guy had some big shot background for Assistant Lin to personally come and ask around. Turns out it was just to confirm if he actually showed up to work. If he really did have a background, with that cold attitude of his just now, didn't even hand over temporary meal tickets to the guy. Wouldn't the guy accuse him of plotting against him? He walked back to his seat and continued flipping through the documents in his hand. Whatever. As a team leader, my style has always been like this. Never give newcomers a good look, otherwise it'll be hard to manage them later. You have to put them in their place, right off the bat, so they know who's in charge here. That way, it's easier to establish rules later on. President, the new assistant has already started working. Got it. Go do your work. I can't believe it, he actually came to work yesterday when he was haggling with me in such a foxy way. He still has to obediently sit at a desk today, posing as an ordinary low-level assistant. I was deep in concentration, reading the instructions for the president's office, when a commotion broke out in the room. It's lunch break, let's go eat. Our department has a lot of people, so we have to split into shifts for the cafeteria. Remember to always aim for 11:50 hours to go. Thanks, man. My name is Li Shen. I just started today. My name is Renli. I've been here for over 3 months and just signed my official contract a few days ago. I don't have a meal card. How do you expect me to go down to the cafeteria? Just ask team leader Tung for a temporary card. When your official employee ID card is issued, all your information will be integrated into it. Then you can just swipe your employee card and you're good. Tong Tianqi was just about to step outside. Team leader Tung, I don't have a meal card yet. I heard I need to come to you to get a temporary one. Tong Tianqi reluctantly opened his drawer. Return it whenever you get your employee ID card. Understood. Tong Tianqi turned and walked away. When I first arrived, didn't even bother to tell me about the meal card. As a result, that noon I still had to run outside to buy lunch. He's a team leader. So how could he operate like that? I heard his sister-in-law is the deputy HR manager, so he thinks way too highly of himself. Truth is, aside from the bootlickers who love sucking up to him, most people can't stand him at all. Don't go spreading stuff like this around, though. I can tell you're new just like me, which is why I'm venting to you. Don't worry, I know how to keep my mouth shut. All right, let's stop talking about him. I'll take you to eat. Thanks, man. Rinli walked and introduced the company's inner workings to me, and I felt genuinely grateful. While eating, I even thought to myself, management at the Hue Group isn't all that great either, with subordinates under Hunyanian acting like this. However, right in front of Hunyanian, Tong Tianqi definitely puts on a totally different face, two-faced backstabbing and brown-nosing, more enthusiastically than anyone else. Heading back to the office, I planned to swing by the pantry to grab some water. Grab a cup for me on the way. I'll get my own. Hey, since we just finished eating, walking around a bit is good. Hang on. As soon as I stepped out, a female colleague shoved a cup straight into my face. Grab me a cup while you're at it. Look decent. Yet that tone of voice, acting so entitled. How could she blurt it out so smoothly? Grab me another cup too. Seeing that I'm new, she really turned me into unpaid manual labor to run errands. To put it straight, it's veteran employees bullying the new guy. Jinli's expression shifted. He was just about to open his mouth to stick up for me. I didn't want Jinli to offend people just for helping me. I was different. I had money in my pocket. My heart wasn't panicking. Listen up, folks. Today is my very first day on the job, not my first day as a babysitter. Are your hands and feet broken? Or are you paralyzed? Even getting a glass of water requires making someone else do it for you. The woman's face stiffened. Hey newbie, what's the big deal with asking you to grab a glass of water? It's no big deal, I'm just curious. Your hands work fine, and your feet work fine too. So why do you have to shove a cup right in my face? Is your brain fried and failing to control your hands? Or is your skin so thick you don't even know what the word favor means? A male colleague lifted his cup and piped up. Who are you calling thick-skinned punk? Can't you hear? Oh, are we that close? The second you walk up, you shove a cup in my face. Don't even know how to say the word please. Didn't your mother teach you basic manners? Or do you think being a new employee means kneeling down to work? Oh, look at the new guy. His skin is way more delicate than us old-timers. He just asked you to grab a cup of water while you were at it. You have to make such a huge deal out of it. While at it. You call this while you're at it. 4 cups, and I only have 2 hands. Is this asking me for a favor? Or treating me like a coolie? Or should I go, brew a pot of tea for you guys first, and bring out a plate of melon seeds, stand next to you, and give you a shoulder massage and back rub while I wait? I came to the Hugh Group to work, not to be a slave. If you guys still need people to serve you tea and pour water, I suggest you go home and hire a babysitter, instead of pulling this embarrassing stunt at the company. Hugh Group hired you guys so you could contribute, not to sit around acting high and mighty and bullying newbies. A new guy just arrived and doesn't know how to respect his seniors. No worries, a few more days, and you'll learn the rules. Rules? What rules? We've been making a ruckus this whole time, and you acted like you didn't hear a thing. At the moment I brought up looking for the president, he popped right out instantly, with a reaction speed like this. If you don't work as a firefighter, it's a total waste of talent, Hunyanian. And wow. Lin Xiao happened to be walking past the president's office and heard the loud arguing inside. They originally didn't plan to get involved, but the very next second, words "president's office" flew out loud and clear. Hunyanian, recognizing my voice to stop to eavesdrop outside. You're way out of line. I'm out of line. Where were you, team leader Tung, when a new employee was being bullied by veterans? These 3 people shoved cups right in my face and forced me alone to go fetch water. Where were you then? Now that I want to go find the president to reason things out, you jump out and accuse me of starting conflicts with senior staff. Team leader 2, your management skills are terribly warped. Li Shen, you're a newcomer. Everyone asked you to grab a cup of water. What are you so dissatisfied about? Which newbie doesn't have to work their way up from the bottom? Why are you the only one putting on an attitude? Didn't back down. Instead, I stepped forward. So what if I'm putting on an attitude? You newbies deserve to be treated like slaves for you guys to order around. Are these rules written in the Who employee handbook, or are they painted on the wall? Do I need to go ask President Who if she knows about these rules? It's my first day on the job, and you guys already gave me a lesson like this. Turns out, the Hugh Group's corporate culture is bullying. Newbies used to think the Hugh Group was some big deal. Turns out the management only amounts to this, and the employee quality is absolute trash. No wonder it's a company managed by her. Company and the person are equally garbage. Other people wouldn't understand these words, but Huanyanian, standing right outside the door, heard them crystal clear. Her face turned pitch black. Lin Xiao almost burst out laughing. Ha, even the president just got called garbage. Tong Tianqi heard me tearing into the company, and afraid he would not be able to bear the responsibility if things blew up, softened his tone by a few notches. If you didn't want to help your colleagues fetch water, you could have just not done it. What's the point of blowing things out of proportion? Picking a mountain out a molehill, I let out a cold laugh. Team leader 2, you sure talk softly. If I hadn't talked back today, would it be my turn tomorrow? Buy breakfast for you guys as team leader. You didn't stop them from bullying, newbie. And instead you come and lecture me about not talking back. So according to your rules, the person getting bullied has to shut up, swallow their pride, and call it being understanding. While fighting back is considered making a mountain out of a molehill. Hunyanian stood outside the door, listening expressionlessly. This new assistant was seriously brave. Scolding his colleagues was one thing, but dragging the president into the mix to insult together. Doing it so smoothly too. Huanyanian stayed silent for a few seconds, then lifted her foot and stepped inside. Lin Xiao hurried to follow behind. My peripheral vision caught 2 people walking in, so I quickly turned my head to look. Just a second. My expression instantly switched to the mode of, I am a hardworking, dedicated employee. Huanyanian's gaze landed on Tong Tianqi. What are you guys arguing about? Oh, President, it's just a tiny misunderstanding between the new and old employees. That's all. A tiny misunderstanding. Tong Tianqi's face turned even paler. Huanyanian glanced at Lin Xiao, and Lin Xiao instantly understood. Team leader 2, the workflow and discipline of the president's office. Review and reorganize them, and hand them to me tomorrow. Lin Xiao's gaze lingered for a moment on the other 3 employees. If anyone wants to play big shot at the Hugh Group, you might as well submit your resignation early, lest you wait until the Hugh Group fires you, which would look pretty ugly. Those 3 people had faces as green and pale as ghosts, regretting that they asked me to fetch water, and hating me even more for making a fool of them in public. Huanyanian glanced at me, and turned around and walked away with Lin Xiao following closely behind. Before leaving, he threw me a look of curiosity, mixed with admiration. I'm going to grab some water, you coming? Go ahead. Lishan, you were so cool just now. What's so big about that? That's the president, weren't you scared? Right, I cursed right to her face. What else is there to be scared of? What's to fear? I didn't do anything wrong. By the way, what are the names and backgrounds of those 3 people? That woman is Liu Meili. She's been at the company for 2 years and is best at sucking up to the team leader. That fat guy is Tai Mingsing. He's been here for 2.5 years, cut from the same cloth as Liu Meili, bending whichever way the wind blows. The remaining one is called Jie Dingzhen. He's been here for 4 or 5 years. He could never get promoted, so he's filled with frustration and just loves bullying newbies to find a sense of existence. I nodded, memorizing these 3 names. Those 3 people are all part of Tong Tianqi's clique, normally revolving around him and openly brown-nosing. Tong Tianqi loves flattery and shows favoritism toward them in everything. When I first arrived, they also made me do these kinds of chores. Back then, I didn't dare to speak up during it for over a month, until another colleague secretly told me about it later. And I found out that newbies getting bullied by them was an everyday occurrence. I remember, is there no one managing this? Who's to manage? Tong Tianqi is the team leader. If he doesn't manage it, who will? Not to mention, he actually wants newbies to be crushed and have their spirits broken, so that the newbies will know their place and obey him. There was once a colleague who couldn't take it and went to report it to Tong Tianqi. And as a result, Tong Tianqi turned around and lectured the guy for a solid session, accusing him of not knowing how to be a team player. That colleague worked for 2 months and then quit on the spot. No wonder. They're so arrogant. Turns out they have Tong Tianqi backing them up. Isn't that right? But you kicked up a huge storm today, so they'll probably be less arrogant from now on. Anyway, the president spoke up in person, so Tong Tianqi won't dare to act wild anymore. Let's go. It's almost time to work. In the office, Liu Meili, Tai Mingsing, and Xu Dingzhen were huddled together, whispering. As soon as I walked in, 3 pairs of eyes stared straight at me in unison. I didn't bother dodging or hiding it, lifting my chin and glaring right back. People who hate me are a dime a dozen. What are those 3 supposed to be? I never expected the president's office to end up in this state. Bullying newbies, forming cliques. Workplace bullying. No wonder the staff turnover rate is so high. The responsibility of the president's office is to support, not for a team leader to lead lackeys in squeezing out newbies. That team leader guy. Why did you promote him in the first place? President, it's my fault. Honestly, I was careless. A few months ago, projects were insanely busy, and right at that time, the previous team leader had just resigned. Tong Tianqi handled things smoothly, and on the surface, he acted very dedicated. On top of that, his sister-in-law is the deputy HR manager, and she happened to casually mention him. So I went with the flow and promoted Tong Tianqi. What? Are you that close with his sister-in-law? No, not at all. Not at all. It's just that during a meeting, she happened to mention it in passing. At the time, I thought promoting someone doesn't matter who it is, and Tong Tianqi works okay. Well, he works okay, but his character is trash. President, you are the boss. If he keeps pulling this crap with excluding others and forming cliques, just fire him outright. Pay special attention. Absolutely do not let the new assistant get bullied by him. Wait, no. Since when does the president care about other people this much? And a guy at that. Aha. He mustered up his courage to probe. President, you seem to treat that new assistant rather specially, don't you? Huan Yanyan checked herself and kept a cold expression and glared at him. Stop being so nosy. Just do a good job with what I assigned you. If there are any mistakes with this, I'm shipping you off to the African branch. He secretly glanced at Huan Yanyan just in time to catch a fleeting smile flashing across the other's lips. The president didn't deny it. She really didn't deny it. Ha. The president has someone in her heart. I thought she genuinely disliked the opposite sex. Turns out she secretly found her soulmate already. I have to report this to the chairman right away. In the president's office, Team Leader 2 finished organizing the documents. Tong Tianqi looked up at me for a second, put them on the desk. I placed the documents down and spoke in a robotic tone to handle the public matters. Team Leader 2, HR just informed me that my employee ID card is being transferred over. It's almost time to clock out. Can I go down and grab it? Yeah. I grabbed the card, and as soon as I stepped out of the elevator, I ran straight into Huan Yanyan walking over. Right at the moment, I planned to walk past her and pretend not to know her. Li Shen, are you really going to pretend you don't know me? I rolled my eyes. Aren't I just executing? Request in your second option. What's up? Want to change your mind? Let me tell you first, I'm not returning that money. Huan Yanyan couldn't help laughing at my money-obsessed attitude. When did I tell you to return it? I just thought that since you're working at the Hugh Group. Anyway, constantly pretending not to know each other is kind of weird. From now on, just greet each other properly, and that's it. This smile of hers happened to be witnessed by Lin Xiao, who had just stepped out of the assistant's office. Lin Xiao froze in place. President is smiling and smiling so brightly. He slipped back into the office, pulled out his phone at the speed of light, and dialed the chairman. Hu Langson. Chairman, it's Lin Xiao. I'm reporting this to you. President seems to have some development. Chairman, you didn't see it. President looked so gentle when she smiled. I've been by her side for all these years, and this is the very first time I've ever seen it. What's his name? How old is he? What school did he graduate from? What does he look like? What's his personality like? Personality. How should I put it? Today, at the office, he completely shut down the team leader and 3 old employees to the point where they couldn't utter a single word. His tongue is super sharp, definitely not someone to mess with. Aha, good. Lin Xiao, keep a close eye on him for me. Don't let any clueless jerks bully the boy. Don't worry, Chairman. The president already gave instructions, telling me to pay special attention to him. Well, that's great. Nian finally seems to have someone she fancies. I always thought our Nian was traumatized out of wanting to get married because of that deadbeat man. Now, it's so hard to find someone who can make her smile so happily. As her mother, no matter what, I can't stand in her way. How should I help my daughter win over a husband? Stepping in personally won't work. My girl cares way too much about her pride and would definitely flip out. Secretly matchmaking won't do either. That guy looks pretty smart. Being too obvious would just ruin everything. That's right. Start from the company. My son-in-law working in the president's office gives us plenty of opportunities. Since I'm the chairman, I can use the excuse of inspecting work. Visiting a few times will naturally make us close, right? Then slowly close the distance. Go with the flow and create opportunities for the kids to be together. Perfect. Old Jew, cancel all of my schedule for next Wednesday afternoon. I want to go to the company to inspect the departments. Walking down the hallway, I heard Huanyanyan say that, so I stood straight, kept a blank face, and shouted at the top of my lungs. Hello, President. Hawas. Then I tilted my head to look at her. How's that? Is that normal enough? Do I need to bow 90 degrees? No. How's your progress on getting that engagement annulled? Gu Qingcheng said he's arranging it and told me to wait for news. Then wait. If he fails to pull it off, you still hold his IOU in your hands anyway. What are you afraid of? True, that's fine. Since he hasn't finished yet, want to go grab dinner with me? No thanks, I've got psychological trauma from eating out now. I'm going home to crash on the bed. Fine, then get some rest early. I got up, greased the soles of my shoes, and slipped away fast. My very first day of work finally came to an end. The President's Office. Genfin Group President's Office. President, these are the documents you requested regarding Mr. Q and Ms. Zhou. The engagement between Mr. Q and Zhu Zizi is the result of a binding interest between 2 companies, not a voluntary choice by the 2 parties. Furthermore, Zhu Zizi is not just seeing one man outside. Have the legal department check what business relationships our company has with those 2 families. And by the way, find out if they have any illegal or disciplinary activities. The assistant acknowledged the order and turned to withdraw. On my side, I stopped by the market on my way home. Working all day long, I definitely had to reward my exhausted self with a huge, satisfying meal. Having money is truly great. Eat whatever I want, whenever I want. Grandma. Ah, is that you, Shende? How did your first day at work feel? Were you tired? Not really. Sitting in an office isn't tiring. That's good. Oh right, are you coming home this weekend? Of course, why wouldn't I? All right then, Grandma will stay home and cook your favorite dishes waiting for you to come back. Grandma, you don't need to go through all that trouble. Isn't welcoming tourists every day tiring enough? Not tired. Your family's agricultural lodge is something you already know. It's just city folks driving over to spend spring leisure time. Grandma, you're only busy during lunch anyway. On weekends, it gets crowded, so don't bother cooking just for me. I'll come back this weekend and help out. All right. Have you eaten yet? I ate. It was really good. Good. Remember to eat your meals on time. I wish Grandma could move up to live with you. Then you wouldn't have to struggle alone out here in the countryside. Back here, Huanyanyan had just arrived home. What's wrong? Don't recognize your mom anymore. I'm this old and you're still teasing me, Mom. Right, Aunt? Zhang said she wants to introduce a distant cousin's nephew to you. Mom already agreed. Let's schedule a time for you 2 to meet up. Mom, I already told you I don't want to get married right now. Stop worrying so much about me. It's all my fault. If it weren't for me and your scumbag father making such a huge mess of things, you wouldn't have become so disillusioned with marriage. Mom, that's enough. Here it goes again. Mom always uses this trick, and yet I always soften up so easily. Back then, Mom suffered way too much grievance. Mom, you know I don't have any. She suddenly froze. Wait, no. I just proposed marriage to Li Shen not long ago, but it's a pity he didn't think twice and chose the money instead. How hateful, yet I appreciate him even more because of it. What is this just being obsessed with money and looks is still a million times better than those guys in upper circles. Is talking to you, kid. Why are you just daydreaming? If you've got so much free time, go worry about the company. You dumped all the work on me. Now you're just sitting back as chairman, playing the freeloader. Wasn't it because I was busy raising you when you were little? It took a lot of hard work to raise you right. Of course, I have to pass the burden on to you now. Don't tell me you want your mother to slave away forever. Your warm little padded jacket of a daughter isn't warm anymore. As long as you don't force me on blind dates, you can name any condition you want, but only one condition, okay? All right, you said it yourself. Within 2 months, you have to find someone you like, and bring them home to meet me. How is this any different from forcing me on a blind date? If you don't agree tomorrow, I'll tell your aunt. Chong. Drag a guy straight to the Hue Corporation building. So, you can go on a blind date right there at the office. Hunyanian imagined that exact scene. Aunt Zhang walking in with some guy, strutting arrogantly into the Hue Corporation, with the whole company watching her get forced into a blind date. She got goosebumps all over and instantly surrendered. Fine. Within 2 months, I'll bring someone I like to meet you. Easy peasy. By then I'll just hire someone to play the part. Doesn't Lai Shen love money? He'll definitely agree. That's more like it. By the way, your father's illegitimate son is eyeing you. Be careful and don't let him scheme against you. I know. He even sneaked into the company before and claimed to be my younger brother. I already had security throw him out. Talk about overestimating himself. You want to hear something even more ridiculous? 2 days ago, your so-called father called me under the guise of hurling about your marriage prospects, just to tell me that his illegitimate son is exceptional in every way. Clearly, he's still targeting the Hue Corporation. That's why I'm telling you to stay sharp. Hunyanian's expression darkened. If they dare to plot against me, I'll definitely make them pay dearly. Seeing that her daughter understood the situation, Huolanhui smiled. All right, let's not talk about them anymore and ruin the mood. Wash your hands and let's eat. The next day, I arrived at the office feeling refreshed. Everything was the same, with only Ramloy greeting me. Director Song Tenji strode over aggressively. Take these documents to the project department. I nodded and took them, thinking it was great to escape sitting cooped up in the office. Going out for a stroll and dodging work for a bit was awesome. Song Tenji figured I had caved and submitted. So as soon as I got back to the office, Song Tenji carefully observed my expression. No sign of fatigue, no sign of dissatisfaction. He then pulled a dusty stack of tied-up files from the cabinet. Organize these documents by date and category, and make a copy of them while you're at it, as a backup. Make sure you finish this before you leave. Amloy waited until he walked away before muttering angrily. These paper documents are already backups themselves. They're all stored on the computers. Why bother making extra copies? He's clearly doing this on purpose. Isn't this just wasting the company's copier paper? What a waste of resources. If you're going to abuse your power to mess with me, don't blame me for not being polite. I faked needing the restroom, stood up, and walked out. Song Tenji smirked triumphantly. Running out again, huh? Let's see you finish. By the end of the workday, walked straight to the CEO's office door and raised my hand to knock. Come in. Hunyanian's voice echoed from inside. I pushed the door open and poked my head in. Good day, CEO. Hunyanian was startled by the sudden sound, causing the documents in her hand to drop onto the desk. She gritted her teeth and took a deep breath. Li Shen, can you actually step inside the room to talk? If I don't step in, it's because I'm afraid of dirtying your floor. If you have something to say, get in here. I'm not afraid of you dirtying the floor. Right, I'm here to report to you about an issue regarding the waste of company resources. Wasting resources. This action is purely wasting paper, wasting electricity, and wasting human labor. I feel this behavior harms the company's interests. You shouldn't be coming to me with these trivial matters. You should go to the administrative department or logistics department. President Hu, you're not entirely right about that. Great Dike collapses from an anthole. Following that, I rambled on, non-stop giving examples to Hunyanian for a full 10 minutes. The corners of Hunyanian's mouth twitched, from twitching to a full-blown headache. What he's saying actually sounds kind of reasonable. The Hue Corporation probably won't go bankrupt by tomorrow, right? Seeing that I was about to keep going. Enough. If you keep talking, I'll probably have to go live. Under a bridge. Since you've already reported this all the way up to me, let me ask you, how do you expect me to handle it? How would I know how you'll handle it? I thought you wanted to teach me how to do my job. Then why did you come running to me? Because I only know you, and you're the one with authority over the general manager's office. Oh. So I should feel honored then. Forget it, I should consider myself unlucky. Whatever, figure it out yourself. Hunyanian watched my panicked escape and couldn't help but laugh. He pressed the internal intercom. Lin Qin, Xiao, get in here for a second. Lin Xiao knocked and walked in. President, did you call for me? Huan summarized what I had just said. Using waste of company resources to bully new hires is something a manager shouldn't be doing. The company doesn't need to keep people like that. Besides, it's about time the company cleaned house anyway. How about this when Assistant Lee starts copying? I'll go catch him in the act. With both human and physical evidence right there, we can fire him fair and square. Huan glanced at him. Fine, handle it yourself. The matter of wasting resources and embezzling company assets, I'm leaving the investigation entirely to you. Hue Corporation doesn't feed parasites. Understood. I'll arrange it right away. Lin Xiao brought a staff member from both logistics and administration, and all three headed straight to the general manager's office. Was working hard at the copier when, hold on, what are you copying here? I immediately reacted. Documents that Team Leader Song told me to sort out. Demanding a copy be made for backup. Tong Tianqi scoffed internally. Team Leader 2, did you arrange this, Assistant Linda? I only told him to sort the documents. Never told him to copy them. He must have thought a backup was necessary and copied them himself. No problem. Let's check the security cameras, and we'll know instantly. Pull up today's security footage to see how Team Leader Tung assigned the tasks. Personnel from the administrative department worked very fast. Lin Xiao finished reviewing the footage and turned to look at Tong Tianqi. Team Leader 2, do you have anything else to say? Lin Xiao turned back to tell the administrative staff, pull up all the security footage from the past few months. Let me see how Team Leader Tung usually manages the department. After watching, Lin Xiao immediately called Huan. President, could you come over here for a moment? Huan arrived very quickly after watching the footage and glancing at Tong Tianqi. Tong Tianqi, you're fired. Pack your things and get out right now. Huan pointed at the three sycophants, and these three as well. Get lost together. She glanced at me and then turned around to walk out of the room. Lin Xiao turned and told the administrative staff to supervise them while they packed. Make sure their resignation procedures are completed today. Tong Tianqi glared at me with hatred and turned around and began packing his belongings. The other three were no exception. In the president's office, Lin Xiao stood in front of Huan's desk. President, would this count as a beauty saving the hero? Stop talking nonsense in here. Quickly find a new team leader. President's office cannot go without someone in charge. PR Department Deputy Manager Li Song is quite good. Her management and coordination skills are outstanding. Transfer her to the president's office, and she'll definitely keep things under control. Make it clear to her that the nature of work in the president's office is different from the PR department. Handling people must be fair and transparent first. Understood. This time, I'll make sure to monitor it closely and swing by to check a few times. Walked up to me on your own and took the initiative. All right, get back to work. The next day, the new team leader of the president's office arrived to take office. Hello everyone, I am the new team leader, Li Song. If you have any issues with work from now on, feel free to look for me anytime. My principle is very simple. Work not personal grudges. Everyone sticks to their own tasks. As long as you finish your own work well, that's enough. At 2:30 p.m., a woman in her 50s walked into the president's office, followed by an assistant. Sang was the first to stand up. Chairman, everyone else quickly stood up along with her. Sit down, sit down. I'm just walking around to check on things, no need to be tense. Her gaze stopped on me, and she walked over to stand in front of my desk. You must be Li Shen. Yes. Hello, Chairman. Wu Langxin pulled a chair over and sat down beside me, sizing me up from head to toe. A bit skinny, and your complexion isn't too great either. Is the chairman showing concern for me? I heard you got bullied on your very first day here. It's all completely resolved now. Everyone has been very kind. Hu Langxin nodded, her gaze falling upon a box of unopened pastries on my desk. Are you only eating this? Didn't you eat a proper lunch? I ate a lot at the cafeteria at noon. This is just to cushion my stomach if I get hungry in the afternoon. Hu Langxin shook her head in disapproval. Don't just bury your head in work all the time. You have to take care of your health too. Take these, brew them in water to drink. I sat down and saw they were top-grade American ginseng. Chairman, this is way too expensive. I can't accept it. Just take it. Why are you being so polite with me? I looked at the chairman with the exact same gaze I'd give my own grandma, my heart skipping a beat. Could it be that Huan told her mom everything that happened that night? No way. How could wealthy parents ever look at a penniless nobody like me? And why is the chairman treating me so nicely? Is it because I'm a victim of workplace bullying? She's using her leadership status to comfort me. That must be it. You are Li Shen's friend, right? Make sure to take good care of him and help him out more. Chairman, don't worry. I'll do that. If you ever need anything, just look for the president. Understood. Thank you, ma'am. Before leaving, the chairman's assistant turned back to give me a look. The chairman coming to check on employees. Why does it feel like a mother-in-law vetting a prospective husband? This young man, I quite like him. Help me keep an eye on him. Don't let any other girls get close to him. Don't worry, Chairman the President is keeping a very close eye on him. Next Wednesday I'm coming again. After Hulan Shin left, everyone rushed over to chat with me. I wasn't arrogant either, smiling and nodding in response. All right, please take care of me from now on. The next day at noon, while everyone was sitting in the cafeteria talking and laughing lively, my eyes caught a middle-aged woman carrying a food tray and walking toward us. Team Leader Lai got promoted to the president's office. Congratulations, congratulations. Deputy Manager Ren, you're too polite. It's all for contributing to the company. Is this Tong Tianqi's sister-in-law? So this must be the new employee Li Shin, right? He picked up a piece of braised pork belly, chewed slowly, and swallowed. Ma'am, do we know each other? I've actually heard of you for a long time. Tong Tianqi getting fired is all thanks to you, isn't it? Deputy Manager Ren, you shouldn't say it like that. Tong Tianqi got fired because of his own issues. What does it have to do with me? If you hadn't been stirring the pot in the middle, would he have ended up in this state? Deputy Manager Ren, I don't understand what you're saying. Are you implying that everything he did was right? You stop talking nonsense here. Let me tell you. You're just an intern trying to get hired full-time, and you still have to get past HR. Deputy Manager Ren, are you threatening me? Then let me go up to the president's office and have a word with the president and Assistant Lin. How do you think the president will react when she hears this? You. What about me? If you're not convinced, feel free to go find Assistant Lin and the president. I stop you, but let me offer a little reminder before you go. I advise you to have a one-on-one showdown with the security camera first. After all, it has all the evidence right there. Someone sitting nearby couldn't hold back and burst out laughing. And then the whole cafeteria erupted into laughter. She shot me a razor-sharp glare, spat out, "You just wait," and turned to storm off. President, guess what I saw in the cafeteria just now, Assistant? He completely shut down. Tong Tianqi's sister-in-law Renna, leaving her speechless like a clam. The whole cafeteria went wild. Ha ha ha. 3 seconds later, Hunyanian replied with a single character. Oh. Aren't you going to ask how the battle went? No need to ask. He definitely won. Lin Xiao grinned brightly and shook his head. Ha ha ha. Man, the president is in way too deep. Lin Xiao returned to the office, recounted everything that had just happened to Hunyanian. Hearing this, Hunyanian gently tapped her finger on the desk twice. How long has Renna been working in HR? 11 years, and she's been deputy manager for 6 years. Investigate her. Do it now. Understood. Lin Xiao nodded. First, he had someone from HR pull up Renna's employment records from recent years. Then he asked the administrative department to pull all related review processes for inspection, and secretly found several employees who usually showed dissatisfaction with Renna to ask around. By the time work ended, the president's investigation was already complete. It turned out that when Tong Tianqi applied to the Hu Group, his written test score was 48. Hu Group's rule was that anything below 60 meant immediate disqualification. Yet he still somehow got squeezed onto the interview list. Out of the 3 interviewers, 2 were Renna's people. Over the past 3 years, Renna had also accepted bribes to help others with transfers and promotions, amounting to around 860,000 in total. Before noon tomorrow, deliver the complete investigation report to me. Understood. Do we need to keep an eye on Renna tonight? No need. Let her sleep soundly for one more night. The next day, at noon, an even more detailed investigation report was placed in front of Hunyanian. Hunyanian sat in silence for a long while after reading it. Some companies don't collapse because of flawed strategies, but rather rot from the inside out. Starting from these tiny trivial things, these 2 were just caught. What about the ones who haven't been exposed yet? She looked up. Is Attorney Zhao from the legal department around? Call him to my office at 2:00 p.m. The door to the HR department was suddenly pushed open. Renna, who had been feeling uneasy, suddenly snapped her head up. See Lin Xiao leading 2 others behind him. Seeing their uniforms made her mind go completely blank. Renna, you are implicated in abuse of power, embezzlement, and accepting bribes. The company has already called the police. These 2 gentlemen are officers from the Public Security Economic Investigation Brigade. Please cooperate with the investigation. Renna's chair slid backward, crashing into the document cabinet. Assistant Lin, there's definitely a misunderstanding here. Lin Xiao shook his head. Everything you've done these past few years, the company has gathered all the evidence. If you feel wronged, just explain it to these 2 officers. Renna's face turned as pale as a sheet of paper. The 2 police officers stepped forward. Renna, please come with us. Assistant Lin, I was just momentarily confused. Please don't let them take me away. Too late, way too late. Just a month later, rumors had spread across the entire company. Did you guys hear manager Renna from HR was taken away by the police for taking bribes? Serves her right. She should have been investigated ages ago. In the president's office, Rinli suddenly yelled out, "Oh damn. Everyone look at the internal forum. Renna got busted. She took over 800,000 in bribes, and it's all exposed. That fast. She was still strutting around the cafeteria yesterday, and today she's locked up. That's truly instant karma, Lishan. This couldn't possibly be because of what happened with you yesterday, right? What does it have to do with me? If she was completely clean, she wouldn't have been afraid of anyone checking. Since she got her hands dirty, she has no one else to blame. Still, it's way too coincidental, President. Do you think Renna's case counts as walking right into a trap? If she hadn't come to the cafeteria to pick a fight and threaten Lishan, you wouldn't have bothered investigating her. The company-wide audit. Make sure you arrange it quickly. Start with the HR and accounting departments. If these two departments are rotten, the whole company won't stay clean. Understood. Over the following week, I gradually grew accustomed to the work. Isong also secretly mentioned to Lin Xiao, this new intern has a quick mind and agile hands. He's really good. Lin Xiao immediately relayed these words back to Huanyanian. Hearing this, Huanyanian parted her lips into a soft smile and simply replied with an, "Oh." Lin Xiao thought to himself, keep pretending. Just keep pretending. In the blink of an eye, it was time to clock out on Friday. Got any plans for the weekend? I neatly packed up the documents on my desk. Heading back to my hometown. What about you? My mom set me up on a blind date candidate. You actually agreed. Could I not agree? My parents gave me a stern warning, saying if I dared to pull what I did last time, telling the date before we even sat down, that I was just there to appease my family, and had zero interest in dating. Then they wouldn't acknowledge me as their daughter anymore. I couldn't help laughing out loud. Did you really do that last time? Of course, the girl's face turned dark, and she walked straight out. When my mom found out, she chewed me out for 3 whole days. This time, tune it down a bit. Have some decency, finish the meal, and then talk. Jinli rolled his eyes at me. Can't you say anything nicer? What if this time it actually works out? What if it turns out like this? Then what? If it works out, dinner's on you. Oh well, fine. Let's just hope I meet a normal person this time to end this miserable blind date saga. From afar, the two of them saw someone standing by the elevator doors. Jinli took a step back and whispered, "The president is clocking out too." I calmly walked closer. "Good evening, President." Huanyanian turned her head and glanced at me. "Yeah?" As the elevator went down, more people crammed in at each floor. Huanyanian and I were pushed tightly against each other. Looking closely, she actually looks pretty gorgeous. Huanyanian noticed my gaze, turned back to look at me, and instantly glared. "What are you staring at?" The elevator doors opened. Taking advantage of everyone greeting Huanyanian, I grabbed Renli and slipped away fast, each of us going our own way. Walking home, I passed by a middle-aged clothing store. Grandma hasn't bought new clothes in forever, it seems. I've got money now. I should spend a little. Handsome. Buying clothes for who? Let me give you some styling advice. I'm buying them for my grandma. She's over 60, about 1.58 meters, and a bit skinny. Following the clerk's recommendation, I bought a shirt and a pair of pants for Grandma. Your grandma is so blessed to have a grandson as filial as you. Grandma is definitely going to scold me for wasting money on random stuff. Then she'll turn around, put them on and go show off to everyone. Early the next morning, long-distance bus stopped at the village entrance. The country air is still so fresh, carrying the scent of green grass and damp earth, along with a whiff of chicken poop. The yard of a household by the road was packed tight with cars. I calculated in my head, at least 10 of them. Today's parking fees alone would make a small fortune. I strolled forward along the path and bumped into an uncle from the village named Li Guangrong. His face instantly lit up like a flower. "On your back. I heard from your grandma that you got a job at a big company. Is that right?" I smiled modestly. "Yeah, it's a big company all right, but I'm still on probation. I have to wait 3 months to see if I'll get signed to a permanent contract." I didn't want to boast in front of these villagers, since they never had any good intentions anyway. Remember growing up hearing people say that a child without a father or mother would never amount to anything. Grandma had also swallowed plenty of bitterness in her heart, refusing to let others look down on me. "Oh, is that so, Uncle too? I'll head back first, need to go help Grandma out." As soon as I rounded the corner, I saw the old lady waiting expectantly outside the front gate. "Grandma, I'm back." "Why do you look like you've lost weight, Shen? You haven't been eating properly again, have you?" "Of course. There's a special kind of caring called Grandma thinks you're skinny." "Grandma, I didn't lose weight. I stewed a chicken for you. Heat is just right now. Go eat a bowl." "I told you not to bother stewing any, Grandma." "Well, it's already stewed. Just hurry up and eat it. Tourists will be coming for lunch in a bit, and I won't have time to look after you." Grandma, I bought some clothes for you. Go try them on and see if they fit. So why'd you buy these for me? It's not like I lack clothes, what a waste of money. I turned into the kitchen, scooped 2 bowls of braised chicken, brought them out and placed them on the living room table. Grandma, eat with me. You stewed it for me, so I'll eat. Let me put the clothes away first. I pulled Grandma down to the table and shoved the chopsticks into her hands. If you don't eat, I won't eat either. All right. Grandma will eat with you. After the 2 of us finished eating, I pushed Lin Shuyi toward her room. Go try on the clothes and see if they fit. I went to wash the bowls, wiped my hands dry, and walked out, just in time to see Lin Shuyi walking out of the room wearing her new outfit. Her spirit looked so much more vibrant. How is it, Grandma, does it fit? I looked her up and down. It fits just right. Lin Shuyi stroked the folds of her new clothes, her eyes brimming with smiles. Don't buy anything next time. What's the point of wasting money? I stepped forward to adjust her collar, smiling. Yeah, I won't buy any next time. Outside in the yard, someone suddenly shouted, Auntie Lin, is anyone home? Yes, a woman was waiting outside the gate. Auntie Lin, we're back again. We'll be over around 12:30 for lunch. Please help us prepare a meal. Here's the deposit. Cook the same dishes as before. Got it, just like the previous times. Lin Shuyi went back inside to change out of her new clothes and neatly stashed them away. Then she turned back to the kitchen and started getting busy. I followed her into the kitchen. Grandma, let me help. We kept busy like that all the way until 3:00 p.m. I've definitely got to bring Grandma up to the city. Can't let her suffer alone working this hard by herself. Take a break, I'm going to take a shower. I was covered in sweat and kitchen smoke. I helped her walk inside the house. Grandma, you must be exhausted today, right? After you finish your shower, I'll massage your shoulders, okay? Okay, this old body of mine is truly aching all over. You can give me a massage later. I opened my phone. Once I get back to Jingxi, I'll go check out apartments first. Either buy a small place or rent a 2-bedroom apartment near the company. When the time comes, I'll bring Grandma up. I'll just tell her working is too tiring, can't eat well or sleep right, and beg her to come up and cook for me. Grandma falls for that trick every time. After Grandma finished her shower and came out, I grabbed the hairdryer and helped dry her hair. Once that was done, I had her lie down, face down on the sofa. Grandma, how's this pressure? Good. Just right. Where'd you learn this trick? I learned it from online videos. Impressive. Lin Shuyi's breathing gradually grew steady and even, and she drifted off to sleep not long after. Next day was busy as usual. After the last group of guests left, I helped Grandma clean up everything and started packing my luggage to head back to Jingxi. Lin Shuyi softly spoke up, as if wanting to say something before swallowing it back down. Grandma, I'm heading out. Travel safe and call Grandma when you get there. Grandma, please don't work yourself so hard anymore, okay? From now on, only accept reservations. Just regular tourists. It's too tiring, let's not take them anymore. Grandma isn't tired. I'm just busy for a bit on the weekends. There aren't many guests on weekdays, at most 1 or 2 tables. Don't worry, Grandma is still plenty strong. I grabbed her hands. Grandma, please, why don't you come live with me in Jingxi? Just started my job. I'm not going and causing you extra trouble. Wait until you get married and have kids, and I won't work anymore, and I'll come up to take care of your babies. So does that mean I should hurry up and get married and have kids so Grandma can hold her great-grandchild sooner? And Shuya was amused by me. All right. Didn't your dad see you off and ask your colleagues to help find someone? You're going on a blind date this weekend, right? Next time, you should go too. Oh, for goodness sake, hurry up and go. Keep nagging for a second longer, and it'll be dark. Ever since I came back from my hometown, in my free time every day, I would browse my phone looking for apartments near the company. Even asked my colleagues about prices at the office. Buying a place right now was a bit too rushed. It was best to just temporarily rent a place nearby to get settled first and take my time checking out houses on the weekend. We got it done. I went to look at 3 apartments and finally settled on a 2-bedroom unit, only a 10-minute walk from the company. The landlord was a super chill guy. Ha. Shin, seeing that you're an employee at Hugh Group, I won't take your deposit anymore. You can move in whenever you want. In less than a few days, I had finished moving. Early the next morning, I arrived at the company feeling totally refreshed. Lishin, you're done moving. Yeah, it only takes 7 minutes to walk to the office. I'm so jealous. It takes me 2 hours of commuting to work every day. You can move over here too. There are plenty of apartments for rent around this area. I'd love to, but my wallet just won't allow it. At 11:30 a.m., the chairman suddenly showed up in the president's office. You guys keep working. I'm just strolling around. Is Li Shen busy? Hello, chairman. Well, don't call me chairman from now on. It sounds too distant. Just call me auntie. I wouldn't dare. I heard you went back to your hometown this weekend. Is your grandma doing well? She's doing great, thank you for asking, chairman. I should go pay a visit there myself sometime. Will you be my tour guide, Shendong? Yes, that's no problem at all. The two of them chatted back and forth casually like that, and before we knew it, lunchtime rolled around. Let's go, Auntie is taking you out for lunch. No need, Chairman. I can just go down to the cafeteria. What's so good about the cafeteria food? You get sick of it after eating it every day. There's a traditional restaurant nearby with an authentic flavor. You're definitely going to love it. Chairman, really, there's no need. Why do you think I'm too old and not worthy of being friends with you? I was so shocked my jaw dropped. How am I even supposed to respond to this? I've talked back to countless people in my life, but this was the first time I was completely speechless and left without a word. Chairman, it's not that you're unworthy of being friends with me. It's that I'm unworthy of being your friend. As long as Auntie thinks it's worthy, it is worthy. Let's go. If we don't hurry, it'll fill up. I shot Renly a look that said I was ready to die. You go ahead. Until we were seated in the restaurant's private dining room, I was still in a daze. Bring us a few of your signature dishes. Got it right on it. You two have some tea first, Hualan. Ting took out her phone and tapped on it a few times. In the Hugh Group president's office, the phone on the desk lit up. My mom went all the way to the Liu family restaurant to eat by herself. Doesn't she normally always go with her close girlfriends? What's up, Mom? I'm eating lunch. Hu Langsing replied instantly. Never mind that. Get over here right now. Eating by myself is so boring. Huanyanyan sighed and had no choice but to drive to the restaurant. Try this. The fish here is completely fresh and super sweet. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. The fish meat was tender and fresh, seasoned just right. It's seriously delicious. No, wait. What should I call her? I hesitated for a moment and still couldn't bring myself to say it out loud. This restaurant has been open for over 20 years. The previous owner used to be a chef at a major hotel and opened this little diner after retiring. They don't do any advertising. It's all just regulars recommending it to other regulars. Why is it so good? Seeing me eat with such relish. Hu Langsing's smile grew even brighter. Where are you, Nianian? The food is all served. Nianian arrived just then and pushed the door open. Huh. Why is my mom eating together with Lishan? You're here, come sit down. Hunyanian's gaze lingered on my face for a second. I was in the middle of gnawing on a rib and froze. Mom, why are you two together? Your mom and Shen are good friends. What's wrong with grabbing a meal together? With that, she piled another helping of food onto my plate. Eat up, this chicken dish is also really good. Right now, I felt deeply uncomfortable all over. If I had known the chairman was going to call Huanyanian over, I wouldn't have come along no matter what she said. Shen, does your hometown have any local specialties? I hurriedly swallowed the piece of rib down. We have wild mountain greens, free-range chickens and ducks, and little fish from the stream that are deep-fried until they're super fragrant. Sounds appetizing. When the time comes, you'll have to take me there to try them. Yes, absolutely. My grandma runs an ecological tourism spot back home. I'll have her cook up a few dishes for you when you visit. My grandma's cooking skills are top tier. It's settled then. Next time, Mom will bring Nianian along too. Shen, what do you usually do after work? Do you have a girlfriend yet? Not yet? Not having one yet is good. Young men don't need to rush. On the surface, she looked well-behaved and was eating her meal, but she was actually secretly straining her ears to eavesdrop. Thank goodness I don't have a girlfriend yet. Otherwise, who knows what I'd be turned into tonight. Right after finishing the meal, Hu Langsing's phone rang. Her expression shifted. Oh, okay, I know, I'll be right there. Hanging up the phone, she looked at me. Shenteng. I'm so sorry, Auntie suddenly had an emergency and couldn't drive you back. Go ahead and handle your business, Chairman. I can just grab a cab back. When you head back to the company later, give him a ride back together. Nianian cast a glance at me. Fine. Langsing hurried away. Wasn't this setting up the young couple with each other? President, I won't bother you anymore. I'll hail a cab back to the company. I took a single step away when my wrist was grabbed. If you hail your own cab back, and my mom finds out, she'll chew me out for sure. I jerked my arm back. If you don't say anything and I don't say anything, how on earth would the chairman find out? Lishan, aren't you just being shy? As if I'm scared. Aren't you worried something shady might happen between us? My hands instantly flushed red. Don't think just because you're a woman that I wouldn't dare hit you. I'm an expert in martial arts, you know. Ha ha ha, what are you laughing at? What a coincidence, I'm a martial arts expert too. Want to spar? You know martial arts too. Want to find out? Sure. She attacked the moment she spoke. Why didn't she follow any normal rules? If I had been just a second slower, I would have eaten a full-on punch. Did you actually mean to hit me? Spar means fighting for real, obviously. Hunyanian dropped her playful expression. The two of us started throwing down right inside the private dining room. Inside, I was secretly startled. Hunyanian is no pushover. Hunyanian is no pushover. A roundhouse kick grazed past my shoulder, and I stepped back to dodge. All right, stop. What, still want to fight? Some more. Seeing her full of vibrant energy, I couldn't help but chuckle. My smile inadvertently caught Hunyanian's attention. Hunyanian checked her watch. Let's go. It's time to head back to work. Driver Zhang watched our awkwardness through the rearview mirror, the corners of his mouth twitching slightly. Earlier, when the chairman left, she gave him a special instruction. Old Zhang, make sure you drive steadily on the road. Brake whenever you need to brake. Pass whenever you need to pass. Just do your thing. Back then, I didn't get what those words meant, but now, I totally got it. The car was driving smoothly down the road when it suddenly slammed on the brakes. You okay? And before the words left my mouth, car swerved sharply. Her entire body lunged straight into me. I instantly shoved her away. Did you do that on purpose? I didn't do it on purpose. The car just swerved. By the time I got back to work, I was half an hour late. Ali Shen, you're back just in time. Come with me for a second. She's not about to chew me out for being late, is she? I walked over to team leader Li Song's desk. Someone posted online, claiming to be the president's fiancé, saying it's already been approved by both sets of parents. Take a look at this. Team leader Li, what if this post is actually true? Regardless of whether it's true or false, the responsibility of our president's office is to handle these issues on behalf of the president. As long as the president hasn't publicly acknowledged it, and to us this matter is not real. Unless the president tells you personally, this is my fiancé. So now you go find the president. Ask her clearly how she plans to handle it, whether we ignore it. Issue a public correction statement. Have the PR department step in, or let the legal department send a warning letter. It all depends on her wishes. Once you have a clear answer, we'll coordinate accordingly. Got it. Could you screenshot it and send it to my phone? I'll go find her right now. Isong sent me the link to the post. I turned around and headed straight for the president's office. Come in. Lin Xiao placed his tablet down on the desk. The screen clearly showed the post in question. Is something the matter? Team leader. Li sent me over to ask about the matter between the president and that fiancé. Should we issue a response or statement? Since when did I have a fiancé? How come I didn't even know about it myself? I opened the link on my phone, turned the screen toward her. Someone online is saying this. They claim to know all the inside details. You actually believe trash you read online. Whether I believe it or not isn't important. What's important is how the president plans to handle it. Fanenian glanced at Lin Shou. I'll handle this matter. Assistant Liu can go back to work. Understood. I decisively turned around, my hand just touching the doorknob when, wait, Fanenian's voice rang out from behind. I turned my head back to look at her. I don't have a fiancé. Those fabricated pieces of trash online. Don't take them to heart. I paused slightly. Got it. The moment the door closed, I brought a hand up to my left chest. My heart was beating a little too fast. Lin Xiao twitched the corner of his mouth slightly. Madam President, why did what you just said sound so much like you were explaining yourself to your boyfriend? If I'm not mistaken, this post was made by Sui Hajai, the illegitimate son of that uncle of yours. Back then, Madam President, when your dad and the chairman made such an ugly fuss, how does he still have the nerve to sick his illegitimate son on chasing you? Eyeing the Hugh group, what else? Truly, their heads are just stuffed with straw. Oh, if things are like this, how could the chairman ever agree? If it turns out it really was Hajai's doing, what does the president plan to do? Then let's send them to eat state-provided meals behind bars. Take all the documents regarding their company's tax evasion and substandard food inspections, compile them, and send them over to the tax inspection authorities and Food Administration Bureau one by one. Madam President, aren't you leaving them any way out? Those two used every dirty trick in the book back then just to take down the Hugh group. You know that full well. When my mom turned the tables, those two begged on their knees for my mom's mercy. My mom showed some human decency, considering they shared the same bloodline as me, and spared them a way out. But now they're acting up again. Since that's how it is, let's smash their little delusions to pieces, crush them right in the cradle. Lin Xiao nodded. Understood. So we'll issue a correction statement first, then send a warning letter. Once we confirm it was Hajai's doing, I'll drop the evidence right away. I headed back to the president's office, passing Hunyanian's words along to Li Song. The president says she doesn't have a fiancé, and this matter has already been handed over to Assistant Lin to handle, so we don't need to worry about it. Lin Shou called the IT department. Help me trace the information of the person who posted this, as detailed as possible, and make it quick. Oh, and once you trace it, don't alert the authorities yet. Report back to me first. Next, he called the PR department. Manager Xiao, the post about the president's fiancé online. You saw it right? Get a correction statement ready. The wording needs to be fierce and ironclad, clearly stating that the president is currently single, has no fiancé whatsoever, and that the online rumors are completely fabricated. I'll coordinate with the legal department, and the warning letter will be issued at the same time. Finally, he called the legal department. Attorney Lee, get a warning letter ready. Charges of spreading rumors and defamation. Don't leave a single charge out. Who Group moved with lightning speed. At 3:00 p.m., the group's website and official accounts simultaneously posted a fierce, uncompromising announcement. A group works fast. It's only been a few hours, and they've already spoken up. Even the warning letter is sent out instantly. Looks like they're playing hardball. So who the heck posted this? And why make up such a thing? That very afternoon, the IT department sent the investigation results to Lin Xiao. The post was made by Si Haoji after paying someone 5,000 RMB to write it. President, we've tracked it down. It was Si Haoji who had someone do it, and we've got the evidence. Hun Yanyan replied in a split second. Proceed with the plan, Lin Xiao. Call Attorney Lai from the legal department. The evidence is solid, so send out the official warning letter. The recipient is Qi Haoji. Also call Manager Chao from the PR department to prepare the second wave of announcements. We've tracked down the identity of the rumor monger and will pursue legal accountability to the very end. Make the tone even stronger. Lin Xiao opened his computer and took the gathered evidence, sending it one by one to the tax inspection authorities and the Food Administration Bureau. The next day, as the news broke, Si Haoji's Time Fortune Company was immediately paid visits by the tax authorities and the Food Administration Bureau. 1 week later, the food inspection results were made public. The tested samples contained high sodium levels and various illegal food additives, posing cancer risks with long-term consumption. All problematic products were sealed, destroyed, and fined 3,000 RMB. Consumers who had already purchased the food could bring their receipts to the point of purchase for a full refund. Tax inspectors also issued a notice. Time Fortune Company had evaded taxes over the past 3 years, totaling 12,000 RMB. Aside from paying back the taxes, they also had to pay late fees and fines, bringing the total to 20,000 RMB. Just as Si Haoji was forced to accept the fines, news broke out about him and Liu Hanru's long-term affair and how they had abused his legally wedded wife, who was gravely ill until her death, dominating the trending searches once again. Oh my god, is this real? I feel so bad for the ex-wife. The mistress abused a sick patient to death without closing her eyes. Just the other day, Hugh Group announced they would pursue the rumor monger to the end, and today, this company gets exposed. Are these two events connected? Si Haoji was arrested right at home, his psychological defenses completely collapsing. Lin Xiao was scrolling through the news. The top-ranking hashtag clearly read, Time Fortune CEO, Qi Haoji, and legal representative, Liu Hanru investigated and prosecuted by police. Lin Xiao stood up and walked straight into the president's office. President Si Haoji and Liu Hanru have both bitten the dust. Should we still pursue Si Haoji further? Pursue it to the very end. Don't let a single one of them off. Understood. I'll urge the legal department to get on it by Monday. Could already sense a noticeably different atmosphere in the office. What's going on? You didn't hear. The company is thoroughly investigating embezzlement of assets and bribery. Word is they've been secretly investigating for a while now, and some people in accounting have already been called in for a chat. Some people were using company cars as their personal vehicles, with all gas paid for by the company. This time, it's all brought out into the light. Not only that, but some people opened private companies outside and used He Group's resources to pull contracts for themselves, and they got caught too. I was slightly stunned immediately, recalling the things I had said to Hun Yanyan. Li Xin, don't you think the company suddenly launching such a strict audit is because of that Tong Tianqi resource wasting incident, combined with Ren Na's corruption, which made the president finally make up her mind? Probably. Those people who got exposed must hate Tong Tianqi and Ren Na to death. If it weren't for those two, the company wouldn't have suddenly gone this hard. If they knew it was because of me talking nonsense in front of Hun Yanyan that triggered this whole chain of events, I'm afraid the person they'd hate the most would be me. Stop gossiping, everyone, get back to work. The company investigating these things is a good thing. It has nothing to do with you guys. Everyone scurried back to their desks. This series of actions, erupting one after another, felt like it had been planned for a long time. Remembering how she acted all reluctant when I mentioned it before, I never expected her to take such swift and thunderous action. At the Hugh Group, company's corporate climate had changed noticeably. Either way, it had nothing to do with me. Days passed peacefully and comfortably. As for Ku Qingcheng, after a period of investigation, her assistant placed a neatly bound report file right on her desk. General Manager, everything has been investigated. This is truly a wild mess. Miss Zhu, regarding the commercial marriage between you and Gui Xiaoran, I hope you will proactively propose calling it off. You can consider the reasons yourself, and your wording should remain moderate. The photos attached to this letter can be kept as souvenirs. Please complete this within 7 days. Next were the letters sent to Chukyankyang and Giguolyang. At the end of each letter was added a single sentence, handle it properly. Each added another phrase to resolve everything smoothly. Within a week, that very evening, Gui Xiaoran was eating dinner with me when he was suddenly called back home. Was this your doing? Gui Xiaoran stepped forward and picked up the sheets of paper to inspect them. Tax evasion bank statements, records of substandard shipments, second-tier items, and even the letter forcing him to call off the engagement. Dad, if I had this kind of capability, would I still have to obediently listen to you and go get engaged to someone like Zhou Zizi? It was true. His son had been tightly controlled in the palm of his hand since childhood. What major to study, what job to take after graduation, and who to marry were all decided by him. If he had that kind of competence, he wouldn't have just let himself be manipulated. Then who on earth did this? How should I know? Maybe Zhu Zizi offended someone outside, dragged our family down. Maybe Dad's business offended someone, and they're sending us a warning. Tomorrow go tell the Shou family that this engagement is cancelled. The next day, the Zhu family and the Gui family simultaneously announced the cancellation of the engagement. He grabbed his phone and texted me. Ah Shin, I called off the engagement, I called it off. Congratulations, you're finally free. Gui Xiaoran looked at the text on his screen and smiled. Starting from today, he was no longer Zhu Zizi's fiancé, nor was he Giguolyang's bargaining chip for benefits anymore. I was Gui Xiaoran, just Gui Xiaoran. Ah Shen, are you busy? Your voice sounds strange, is something wrong? I want to move out on my own. Then move out. You should have moved out ages ago, but I don't have anywhere to go. Come stay at my place. That 2-bedroom apartment I rented before was originally meant for my grandma to come live in. But when I went back to my hometown this weekend to talk to her, she refused to come up no matter what. Would that be convenient? What's so inconvenient about it? Just move into my place first, and you can move out later whenever you find a place you like. Though won't your commute to work be a bit far from my place? Not at all. Once I move out, I'm not going to work at the family company anymore. My parents don't care about me anyway, and I want to change environments and start over. He added, Oh, right. Didn't your Hue group just lay off a bunch of people? There's probably going to be a recruitment wave soon, right? Really awesome. Let me keep an eye out for you. If a recruitment notice drops, I'll let you know first. Okay. So that very evening, Gui Xiaoran, who usually had a somewhat soft temperament, had a massive, fierce argument with his parents and successfully moved into my place the next morning. I actually got to eat breakfast cooked by Gui Xiaoran's own hands. Oh right, that IOU. Ku Qingcheng wrote for you. Did you return it to her? I totally forgot. She didn't come looking for you to claim it. Nope. The other day, when she sent over those piles of evidence, for me, she didn't mention it at all, so I completely forgot about it too. What should we do now? Should I call her and tell her to come pick it up? Up to you. Anyway, if it were me, I wouldn't proactively return it. I'd only hand it over whenever she asks. Didn't you agree it was settled once the job was done? Why proactively hand it back? Leave yourself feeling annoyed. What gives her the right? Make me be the active one. Gui Xiaoran listened, nodded seriously, and said, Makes sense. Let's just do it your way. During lunch break, Shin the company posted a recruitment notice. I immediately took out my phone and texted Gui Xiaoran. The Hue Group just posted a recruitment notice. Go get your resume ready. Gui Xiaoran replied to me, all prepared. Inside the president's office. Madam President, didn't you sleep well last night? I slept really well, actually. It's just that for some reason I keep feeling sleepy. Hunyanian opened her lunchbox, and a fishy smell hit her straight in the nose. Her stomach churned in violent waves, and Xiao asked with a start. Madam President, your complexion looks terrible. Are you all right? Hunyanian closed the lunchbox lid and took a few deep breaths to suppress the nausea. Madam President, do you want to go to the hospital and get checked out? I'm fine, probably just caught a minor cold and lost my appetite. I'll just take some cold medicine later, and it'll pass. Hunyanian glanced at the lunchbox in Lin Xiao's hand and asked, What are you eating for lunch? I'm having pickled green chilies. Switch with me, switch with me. Have my portion instead. You're catching a cold. Is it really okay to eat something this spicy? Hunyanian opened Lin Xiao's lunchbox and popped a piece into her mouth. A spicy explosion burst across the tip of her tongue, instantly making her whole body feel relaxed. It's fine right now, this is all I want. Catching a cold really is bizarre. When other people catch a cold, they lose their appetite, but you're craving spicy food. After finishing her meal, Hunyanian lay down on the bed in the break room and drifted into a deep sleep until she was woken up by Lin Xiao. Madam President, are you really okay? Hunyanian furrowed her brows, bringing a hand up to massage her temples. She felt a vague sense of unease in her heart. What on earth is wrong with me? Yet she couldn't pinpoint what felt off. Let's go to the hospital. At the hospital, Hunyanian held the test results slip in her hand. Congratulations, you're pregnant and it's been over a month. Make sure to get plenty of rest. Keep up your nutrition and attend your prenatal checkups. I'm going to be a mom. It's my own child. Me and Li Shen have a child together. Should I tell him about this? Friday after work. Renli whispered to me. Li Shen, have you noticed? The president hasn't come to the company for 2 days straight. Do you think she went on a blind date and successfully went out on a romance date? My heart skipped a beat as I maintained a calm expression and replied, who knows? Right at that moment, Qiaoran called me. Ah Shen, King Cheng asked to meet up. When? Right now. Then go see what she has to say. Think things through carefully yourself too. Qiaoran carried a sense of trepidation as he headed to the tea house Gu Qingcheng had chosen, anxiously heading to the tea house that Gu Qingcheng appointed. Gu Qingcheng was, downcasting her eyes, flipping through a physical contract booklet on the table. Seeing him arrive, she raised a hand, gesturing for him to sit in the seat opposite her. Qiaoran pulled out a chair and sat down. What on earth is Gu Qingcheng plotting? Did she ask me out here because of the engagement cancellation the other day, or because of the IOU? I purposely brought it with me when I went out today, ready to return it to her at any time. The IOU isn't urgent. I'm not looking for you today because of that. Before, when I collected those 10 documents from the Zhou family and your father's company, my methods were a bit heavy-handed. I apologize to you. The rules of the business world are right there in plain sight. Without ironclad evidence, those two families wouldn't have voluntarily let go of their grip. I understand. I was already sick and tired of that marriage built purely on cooperation anyway. Speaking of which, I actually have to thank you. Otherwise, I'd still be tied down by my family and used as a tool for family benefit exchanges. I've seen too many people sacrifice their feelings for the sake of business. Fathers and uncles are used to using their children's marriages to pave the way. They never ask what we actually want. Yao being willing to actively struggle and break free already makes you much more level-headed than other spoiled young masters and misses. I've lived my whole life amidst arrangements, where even liking something is something I don't dare voice out loud. Falling off the engagement and moving out on my own this time feels like truly living for myself for once. Actually, I noticed you a long time ago. During that industry conference, your dad forced you and Zhu Zizi to go entertain clients, and you deliberately kept your distance the whole time. Anyone could tell you utterly loathed this political marriage. Around that time, I happened to be reviewing the partnership risks with the Zhu family, while also looking into Zhou Zizi's personal lifestyle. So I decided to step in and help you break free. Just because of partnership risks, or was there another reason? At first it was purely business. After bumping into each other by chance a few times, I realized you're a gentle yet principled person who, despite being forced by family, refuses to compromise with unreasonable arrangements. I really respect people like that. To be honest, I've been thinking about you a lot lately. After moving in with Li Shen, whenever I had free time, I would unconsciously recall the moments when the two of us met. Only I didn't dare overthink it, always feeling like between our two family businesses, there were too many entangled interests. Interests are business, feelings are personal. The two can be kept separate. I asked you out today because I want to ask you one thing directly. If you also have some feelings for me, we could try getting to know each other normally. No family matters, no business talk, just being each other's romantic partner. If you don't feel that way, I'll take the IOU back. From now on, we'll just maintain an industry colleague relationship, and I will absolutely not disturb your life. Every single worry. Qiaoran's heart instantly vanished. I agree. The corners of his lips curved into a warm smile. I want to date you seriously. The corners of Gu Qingcheng's lips also bloomed with a soft, faint smile. He pushed the IOU on the table forward toward Gui. Xiaoran, keep this for yourself. Think of it as a guarantee slip for you. Do you want to come over to my place this Saturday? I'll cook a few of my signature dishes to treat you. Li Shen won't be home, so it's fine. If your dad gives you a hard time, just tell me anytime. Don't worry, I won't compromise this time. Once my new job is settled, we can see each other often. Oh right, tonight when I get back, I plan to tell Li Shen about this. He's always been hoping I'd escape that political marriage and find someone I genuinely like. Qiaoran arrived back home. I immediately raised my head. How did it go? Did Guju Qingcheng look for you because of the IOU, or was there some other trouble? We cleared things up and are officially dating. No way. Hearing that, my brows twitched. I'm genuinely happy for you. You finally escaped that absurd political marriage and found someone on your wavelength. That's awesome. Qiaoran smiled and nodded. Yeah, I invited her over to the house for dinner tomorrow. Too bad you won't be home. I chuckled and waved my hand. It's fine. We'll run into each other sooner or later. What a coincidence that I'll be out, saving me from being the third wheel blocking your date. The two of you chatted for a long time, from upcoming dating plans to future directions. Listening to Gui Xiaoran's rhythm, Gu Qingcheng returned home, with her mind full of images from her time with Gui Xiaoran. She pulled out her phone and texted Gui Xiaoran, "Make sure to text me when you get home safely. Drive carefully. Honey, I'm home. I had a great time with you today. Are you free tomorrow morning? Want to take you for a walk along the mountain trail early in the morning." Okay. Early the next morning, the two went for a walk and then went grocery shopping together. Gui Xiaoran returned home and headed into the kitchen. Gu Qingcheng tasted the food Gui Xiaoran cooked, and her eyes lit up brightly. This is seriously delicious. Cooking used to just be a hobby, to kill time. Now that there's someone to share meals with, cooking has finally become meaningful. Then I'll have a share of your cooking from now on. On Sunday evening, Gui Xiaoran went out on a date, leaving me curled up on the sofa scrolling through my phone alone. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. "Why are you here?" "Lishan, I have something I absolutely must tell you." "What is it?" "Come inside first." She pulled out a piece of paper and held it out in front of me. It was a hospital medical examination report slip. The topmost line read, "Pregnant. Hunyanian and I are having a child." "How long have you known about this?" "Since last week." I kept hesitating, wondering whether I should tell you. "Why wouldn't you tell me?" "I was afraid you'd run away. That day, you chose money and refused to marry me. I was afraid this time you'd use that same trick again. Choosing money was because I didn't want to be some kept trophy son-in-law." All right. So now I choose you." She leaned against my chest and in a sullen voice expressed. "You finally figured it out." I couldn't help but burst out laughing. My heart was pounding like a drum. Get that sum of 13,000. As for that 13,000, don't even think about getting it back, you gold digger. Early the next morning, Xiaoran saw Huanyanian walk out from my room. "Shen, you two already knew each other. Damn, your speed is way too fast, though you and Gu Qingcheng aren't doing badly yourselves." In the days that followed, good news came one after another. Si Haoji and Liu Hanru, for the crimes of asset misappropriation, tax evasion, and abusing the ex-wife to death, were officially arrested and prosecuted. Time Fortune Company was completely liquidated. Their assets were frozen. Regarding Si Haoji's rumor-mongering, the court ruled for him to compensate for damages and psychological harm, while also forcing him to issue a public apology online. All of his drinking buddies were blacklisted as bad debtors. Gui Guoliang later tried to approach Gui Xiaoran, wanting to mend their father-son relationship, but Gui Xiaoran only replied with one phrase, "From now on, my own matters will be decided by myself." A month later, I officially signed my contract, and Gui Xiaoran also joined the Hu Group. He worked hard, and his relationship with Gu Qingcheng was very stable. What made me happiest of all was that Grandma finally came up to Jingxi. I used my old trick again, complaining every day about working overtime, not eating well, and not sleeping soundly. As soon as Grandma heard that, she panicked, packed her bags overnight, and rushed up here. Stepping through the door, she saw the apartment cleaned to a spotless shine. Brand new bed sheets and osmanthus pastries laid out neatly on the table. "You're wasting money on random things again." "Don't worry, Grandma, just stay here comfortably. From now on, whenever I get off work, I'll have hot home-cooked meals waiting for me." "All right, Grandma will cook for you." She turned and headed into the kitchen, her bustling energy just like back in our hometown. The first time Hunyanian came over for dinner, Grandma brought the dishes out, saw her, and asked, "Shen, who is this young lady?" Hunyanian stepped forward a bit. "Hello, Grandma. I'm Hunyanian, Shen's girlfriend." "Oh, wonderful. She's so pretty and speaks so gracefully." "Shen, your eye for people isn't bad at all." Hunyanian was praised until her cheeks flushed pink. I winked at her, and she replied with a mischievous smile, "Child, you're way too thin. You need to eat more. Is your grandma in cahoots with my mom or something? Everyone complains I'm too thin. Well, I suppose I should eat a bit more. Now, I'm not the only one eating for two anymore." She glared at me, but the corners of her mouth curved upward. 2 months later, we registered our marriage, and incidentally bought a 3-bedroom apartment near the office. "No need, Mom. I've saved up enough money on my own." This is a greeting gift from Mom to her son-in-law. Not accepting it means you're not giving Mom any face. Your mother-in-law is right. It's a mother's good intention. Just accept it. On moving day, Xiaoran and Gu Qingcheng came over to help out too. Later on, Qingcheng, "I will buy a place in this neighborhood too, making it convenient to come over and hang out at your place. Lishen, you've got the best luck of all. Your wife is a CEO, and Grandma cooks meals for you. As for me, I've been on 20 blind dates and none of them worked out." Don't rush. Right regular person for you will show up eventually. For our very first meal at the new home, the table was completely packed. Grandma cooked a whole table full of dishes, and Gui Xiaoran even rolled up his sleeves to whip up 2 of his signature specialties. My boyfriend's culinary skills are genuinely top tier. Awesome, amazing. Food is so good. Can I come over as a freeloader often from now on? When Anian sat right beside me, obediently picking up food, while occasionally glancing over at me in secret. I lowered my gaze and noticed her belly had already bulged out slightly. Should we tell everyone? She smiled, pulled an ultrasound photo out of her pocket, and placed it on the table. The room went silent for 2 seconds. Shen, you're going to be a dad. Oh my nanan, my good grandchild. Kichaoran flashed a thumbs up in my direction, while Gu Qingcheng gently grabbed his hand. Did this meal of mine witness history in the making? Looked at everyone sitting around the table. Grandma, Hut Langsing, Kichaoran, Qingcheng, Rinli, and even Hunyanian, whose eyes were curved into bright smiling crescents right beside me. Back then I used to think the most wonderful days in this life would be taking that 18,000 RMB, finding a woman who loved me, and living the kind of life I wanted. Now I finally understand. The best days aren't about being footloose and fancy-free all alone, but having a full, lively, and bustling household. Ashen, Grandma is truly so happy today, seeing you all settled down and starting a family. Grandma, from now on this family, Grandma will always be right here with us. Back in the living room, Hunyanian leaned against the sofa, her eyes sleepily half closed. I stepped over and sat down beside her. Thank you for choosing me. Nothing to thank me for. I was meant to choose you all along. I was just a little foolish. Took the long way around. Before long, she had drifted off to sleep. The night outside the window was so peaceful. In the living room, only her steady breathing remained. I recalled Grandma's words, looking at how I finally had a family, a true home of my own. Inside the living room, only her steady breathing remained. I recalled Grandma's words, seeing you, having a family, having a real home.